You going straight across or behind us?
Left.
Ah, in Brogue Street, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
I've been looking at the case, and I think our biggest sort of hurdle is the expert witness, and I have a strategy for her.
Oh, interesting. I had a strategy too. The strategy would be asking what the fuck you an expert at, and then showing that they're not.
So I emailed the prosecutor. Apparently, she's going to be called as an expert on writing legislation.
I mean, technically, anybody's an expert on writing legislation because you can't fail writing. All you do is write things.
Yeah, she's not being called on writing good legislation.
So if we're not writing legislation, why the fuck is she in the fucking courtroom?
Yeah, but also, she's hired by the police, and I believe you said she spoke to you while you were in the cells?
Yes, with the man that had a gun out, actually. The mayor.
In the police report, she has articulated the probable cause for the charges, and she was the one who prepared the report, so she's acting as a prosecutor while being called as an expert witness.
Yes, yes, I know. Fair and just trial, exactly. Oh. Hey, I remember raiding this house once and it was filled with weed.
Oh.
Don't smell like that
my office is downstairs.
This is Bo's and Jesus and Corn Dog's old house where we used to grow fucking crops of weed, dude. Oh, nice. I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
How do I sit again in chairs chat? I forget. Oh, place the moats. That's right.
I thought about motioning to strike her yesterday, but then I thought it's probably better to do it right before trial, so they don't have time to prep another so-called expert.
Yes. I was thinking that too. Like, there ain't no. So my target. Listen. I've been in a lot of court cases myself. Obviously, I'm not sure if you know my history as a state police officer, but I was always the prosecutor in my own cases, and if I had to go on defense, I'd be doing the same thing. I was gonna do the same here, but honestly, you know, having a lawyer here and there is definitely gonna be advantageous. But I don't expect you to do all the work, but I do, you know, obviously appreciate it. But I think from what I've seen, we're gonna be thinking quite alike either way. So. Let me get seated again. My logic, at least, with having them allow the expert witness is we can show their credibility lacking in multiple ways, and then it will obviously help us.
If you need me to, I can move the chair slightly.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'll get there. Let me just. Oh yeah. There we go. Just. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, like if she doesn't get stricken, we can still go against her credibility.
I'm just gonna lean, okay? I like to lean.
Let me move the chairs.
It's fine. I'm comfortable. I've been sitting too long. Uh-oh. I make his head pop. The chairs need to be higher, I feel like, is what it is. Like, or maybe a little bit further back. Or just one. Oh, editing mode. Okay, yeah, of course. It's a goddamn simulation. Oh! Hey, buddy.
Just move these out the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it, pal. Yeah, that'll do it. Nice and comfortable. Anyways, I was just gonna say if you know, we go up there and ask you know, what they're an expert at, and if they're gonna say that, right?
They're saying because she's the chief of staff, they're calling her as an expert in writing legislation.
So, also, you know, even though they did end up releasing us, or releasing me, they've essentially all now agreed that my rights were violated by being held for too long. And if she is the genius of legislation, she should know that this should be filed as a mistrial by everybody involved who has the power, because apparently, she's read the fucking legend. She's a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not there.
She's claiming that you've been cherry picking, his exact words.
Well, I mean, I read the first fucking part of the Constitution, and then the Constitution overrides the legislation, because the Constitution is from the state level. Everything else is from the local level. So, yes, I am picking and choosing from the fucking state level of Constitution. She's right.
Yes.
Some people, they just don't get it. They believe because they are chosen by the state, they are the state. But it just doesn't work like that. It's just not how it is.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Next time, I'm gonna go get a job at the fucking motel up the road as a cleaner, and just say I own the place. I'll start making the rules. Jesus Christ!
Her involvement behind the scenes is so bad that the statement of claim that was put on the docket, half of it was just her words copied and pasted.
Well, I mean, technically, she might be an expert at writing legislation, but she's just not an expert at understanding it, and that's fine. We can imply that and say, we agree that you're an expert at writing it. You're just not an expert at understanding it.
Mm-hmm. I
mean, anybody can be an expert at writing legislation. I wrote it on the wall up there, apparently, and that's enough for treason.
Yep. I mean, that's a very good point.
And if it's mistrial, I believe it can just be redone.
Yeah, it depends if it's
right?
If it's dismissed with prejudice, then no. If it's dismissed without prejudice, then yes.
Okay. Well, one of the questions I did have, I don't know how much you've read of the entire Constitution and legislation, because it looks like it changes quite a bit. The whole fair process in a court case, are we entitled to a fair process? I assume that's a part of it somewhere.
I mean, let me double check.
Because if that is still the case, then I don't understand why we haven't been given the last, 3 days to provide our evidence or any evidence to counter anything. Yet they've had the 3 days to do whatever the fuck they want, question me, question other people, get statements. I'm not sure what they consider fair, but in my opinion, if one party gets to do more than the other party, that is an imbalance. You know what I mean? It's like if one party has a keg and they drink the keg, and the other party doesn't have a keg and they don't drink the keg, one party's going to be a little more imbalanced in multiple ways.
So I just had a sort of quick look through the Constitution. Nowhere is the word fair in here.
Oh, interesting. What about fair? I'm sure there's a way that it's written that is what's prejudice and without prejudice? What's that based off?
Basically, like in layman's terms, if something is dismissed with prejudice, it means there was something so egregious that the courts say it shouldn't be heard again.
Okay.
Whereas without prejudice is there was an issue that we find is that means it should be refiled, or that it should be dismissed at the moment, but it can be refiled.
Yeah.
Should those things be fixed?
Well, I mean, considering apparently there's an expert witness on legislation that doesn't understand that this should be a mistrial already, is pretty damned enlightening, I think, about the entire city. We're at the point where we could possibly have every person that was detained outside of Los Santos City file for a mistrial on everything they've been charged for in an appeal and get all their money back. That could cost the state millions.
Could. Very well could.
You can fix the rights by mistrialing it, because I can still file a lawsuit after.
And I suppose we can question if the sort of linchpin behind it all is the joyriding, and did Bones have the right to detain you?
Well, I mean, listen.
Had the right to detain you because he suspected you of joyriding?
Yes, so I feel like he would have been able to at least stop me and question me and, whatnot. Put me in handcuffs, though. Why would I be a threat? I'm standing at a police station with 2 or 3 police officers around me. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if you could justifiably say this man was a fucking threat to me. That's why I put him in handcuffs. I mean, I delivered a car, and I even asked him, like, what's the logic or the PC here? And I explained to him that I drove the car here, directly here, because it was in the middle of a highway, and he still said he was going to do it. So, I mean, listen.
Yeah.
I personally think it wasn't joyriding to begin with, myself. I also don't understand how the self-defense and, you know, the protection of others works in this city. Like I said, I need to read the legislation to get a full understanding. But, you know, are we America? Are we not America? Okay, listen, there's some very fundamental things that we as people in any society allow. And if I'm protecting somebody's life and the people around me, anybody in their right mind would say what I did was right. You know, I prevented people from having a vehicle accident in the middle of the night with a car that was stopped in the middle of the highway. I returned it to a police station because I believe it could have had weapons and whatnot in it. I didn't want to get robbed. I didn't want to get my ass shot, especially after hearing what happened at the council meeting, you know, all the terrorists and whatnot. You know, for my own safety, I wanted to get the fuck out of there. So I went straight to PD. I mean, that's. I feel like anybody in their right mind would see that as a very logical thing to do there.
Yeah. Are you planning to take the stand tomorrow?
Honestly, listen. What are the legalities? It says I have to go to the trial. Do I have to stay? Because I was thinking of walking in there saying some really damn shit and walking the fuck out and not caring. Because that's how I feel about society.
There's nothing written down that says you have to stay. Especially since you were
thank you for the raid.
let out of jail, so it's not like you're there under sort of in a custodial manner. But I would imagine the police would try and prevent you from doing so.
Yeah, but then my rights would again be violated, and they'd have to file for a mistrial if they were to follow their own legislation. So it would only be better for us, in my opinion. Listen, I was going to walk in there. I was going to explain the multiple circumstances in which my rights were violated, point out the legislation. I mean, I assume we get an opening statement, and then we ask questions. Okay, well, that's what I was planning to do. I was going to get as many people from the city that want to see what a disaster this is. And honestly, I might even sit there and speak for an hour. I could sit there and speak all day, you know, from their expert witness to the way they handled the detainments and me as a person, this so-called fair and due process in which has been severely fucking violating my rights as a fucking human. And then if they sit there in that fucking trial and still process it after I say that shit, the people, I believe, if I get the right message across, will be on my side. And I feel if the people are on my side overall, the mayor himself might even fall and crumble because he looks like a fucking pussy. He sounds like he talks a lot, but really there's somebody that's next to him with red hair that talks a lot, and he's too stupid to realize she's stupid and doesn't understand what she's saying. And Bones, well, he's a different level of fucking stupid. He doesn't even know what he's saying half the time. He's wearing jeans that are baggy with fucking cowboy boots. He's going to get his jeans caught up under his shoe and fall the fuck over anytime soon. He's the stupidest motherfucker I've seen this year. Anyways, they're all so stupid that they don't know they're stupid, and they can't tell they're stupid because they all talk so much they will never understand they're stupid because they believe they're right and no one's going to tell them they're stupid. And when they're told they're stupid, they're too dumb to understand it. So maybe when the people start saying, you guys are fucking stupid, Mr. Mayor Max will be like, this isn't good for me because I like power. I'm an ex-terrorist psychopath, and maybe we should do something about this. Maybe it'll work. Who knows? You know that asshole offered me to be a police officer? He asked me if I wanted my own department.
While on trial for treason?
While on trial for treason. And technically, he should also be impeached because he has admitted to being a convicted felon in San Andreas. And the statute of limitations applies to law that is enforceable by criminal court. It doesn't mean that he can't be impeached because he was trialed before the legislation was written. It's irrelevant. It just says at any time If he was convicted by a court in San Andreas, he cannot. Well, he can't be impeached. So.
And the deputy mayor before the current one was also a former terrorist. Well, terrorist, but not on their record currently.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I feel like I could ring Mr. Thoroughbred and explain to him how many loopholes were in his court that could fuck him in the ass with the mayorship alone. He'd probably just throw the case out. I assume he's got those powers, right?
I mean, he could order Bones to drop it.
He does run the PD. But is the prosecutor separate to the police department or a part of the police department?
They're an outside contractor.
So the police department does hire them, is what you're saying? Or is it the mayor, the mayor side, the government side?
The police hire the prosecutors.
Police hire the prosecutors. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to, like I said, I don't know how the fucking legal system works these days, but if that's the case, then this court trial can be thrown out any time they want by anybody in the police force that has that power, or the judges, or obviously the lawyers. But the prosecutor himself is so fucking dumb, he's going to push these charges while the judges said my rights were violated on the fucking docket, knowing that it should be a mistrial. I cannot, the more I think about this, the more I get angry. But I can only get so angry at stupidity before I start to think it's a pet. You know what I mean? It's like if you get a dog, it's sort of dumb. But it becomes your nice, cute pet when you start to understand its stupidity and nurture it.
Yeah, that's actually a good analogy.
Man, I listen. The more I think about it, the more I think I'm about to lose the plot, honestly. So, we can calm it down. But either way, I mean, I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. How many hours have we got?
Let me do some maths here. So it's scheduled to start at 7:15 Eastern PM. So 21 hours, 45 minutes, something like that.
21 hours. Yeah, it should be okay. I'll be okay. Listen, at the end of the day, like I said, I'll read the legislation. I'm not even sure I need to show to the fucking court. If you're there representing me, I mean, I don't know if I even have to be there. I am willing to look up this due process shit or whatever the fuck they call it. I swear remember seeing something in there about the due process or a fair trial or some bullshit in the
like the whole Article 3 is titled due process and jurisprudence. But it doesn't say like you're entitled to a fair and speedy trial, which is like common in America. It doesn't actually mention that.
That's okay.
Either way, this may be the speediest trial I've ever seen.
I'm going to look at all these things and just look for right violations, which is, there's been plenty already. Well, some are debatable, like the handcuffing and shit. I could understand how he had reasonable belief to do that. But again, if it's done in the legislation, then who gives a fuck? It's irrelevant either way. So, I mean, that's going to be my goal, the mistrial side of things, and making them look fucking stupid with what they've done. And at the end of the day, I don't care if I go to jail. I don't give a shit. It means nothing to me, okay? I've been stuck in a hole for 5 years. That jail is like permanent orgasm to me, all right? It's safe. It's friendly, okay? I don't have to worry about shit. I get food. I can go in there and clean dishes all day. I don't have to worry about an alien creeping into my cave and fucking me in the butt with his goddamn tentacles, okay?
We only got the lifers to worry about in that regard.
Yeah, one of those guys has one arm, so if he survived, I believe I can survive.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you can survive with one arm, then someone with two is practically a god.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, most of the people in there. I mean, Carmine ran the fucking jail, and he's two matchsticks stuck together with a head on top. I believe I might be safe in jail. I might be able to survive.
I'm trying to see if there's anything in the report section that I have access to that the public doesn't. See if there's anything here.
I mean, also at the end of the day, I feel like even if we don't, if there's nothing about a quote-unquote fair trial type thing, showing their motive and their, failures in their evidence collecting and, people being involved in both sides, Do you know if the council and also the police take the oath? I know the police take the oath, and it says you're meant to fully commit to this role.
There is a city council oath.
Okay, maybe it's worth understanding that, because if they say 2 separate oaths that imply they're meant to give full aspiration or whatever the fuck it is to one of them, it might mean that they've overridden their oath for the other job, or it will prove that they're not committing to their job, which will also say that they're fucking not an expert because they're fucking stupid.
So the second paragraph of the council oath.
Oh, could you read it to me if you've got it there? That'd be great, yeah.
Yeah, I can read the whole thing. So it says, as a member of the city council, I hereby swear to uphold the expectations and requirements of my position, including but not limited to conducting myself in a professional manner at all times, working with honesty and integrity, maintaining a fair and consistent line of communication, attending all meetings to the best of my ability, performing my responsibilities efficiently and effectively, and displaying behavior because of my status and position. That's the first paragraph. The second one reads, I affirm that I have a clean criminal record bearing no felonies. I have no formal allegiance to any other governments, agencies, and/or special interest groups which would prevent me from acting in the best interest.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go have a fucking beer, okay? I appreciate it, pal.
Sure thing.
I told you they're retarded. Expert witness, by the way. Expert.
Yeah.
Maybe she can go be an expert at the fucking preschool up the road.
Yep. In that second paragraph, it says, like, there's just one point that's important to us. It says, prevent me from acting in the best interest of the city of Los Santos, and then I take this position with clear conscience and full support of the great state of San Andreas. So it's clearly defined in the oath that they have sworn.
The police oath, I believe, says they're going to fully commit to that one in different words, so they're lying to themselves already just based on their own oaths. I don't know if they understand. Am I cherry-picking their fucking oaths now? Is that what I'm doing? Is this cherry-picking?
I mean, let there be fruit, you know?
I am going to have an aneurysm. And it's not because I'm mad at, you know, the justice system or me going to jail. It's just stupid people that think they're smart really piss me off. There's something in my head that stirs. It irritates. It feels like somebody's scratching my fucking brain. I don't know if I'm gonna be
there's a
able to
lot
sleep
more of
tonight.
those people than do you need anything more from me, sir?
No, I appreciate it, pal. Listen, let me just see if I've got your phone number in here, actually, because this is a different phone, I believe.
Yep, sure thing.
Oh, no, I've got you. You're good. Okay, no, it's fine. I'll be here tomorrow. We can have a chat about how many rights were violated, and, you know, we'll just let the judge pick which one was violated the most, and we'll ask that to be the mistrial.
Oh, it's a panel of judges. I think it's 3 judges that are taking it.
Oh, shit, so all 3 of them can file for the mistrial then, because anybody who has the power has to do it, according to their legislation.
Yep. So we'll see.
Okay. I'm hot-headed. I'm gonna go chill the fuck out. I do appreciate it, though. I'm glad that you're willing to read the legislation, my friend. It might be just worth double-checking the oath of the police department, but it sounds like, yes, you know, either way, they've already lied by being in 2 government entities.
Yep.
You're a good lawyer. You know, not many people that do the legal side understand the legal side because they can't read. I'm used to just people pretending they know.